Hey Hofstra fans, welcome inside the W. Mason Coach Report here on GoHofstra.com. I'm Tom Verdi, now joined by the head coach of the Hofstra Pride men's lacrosse team, Seth Tierney. Coach, thanks for the time.
You got it, Tom.
Now, Coach, this past weekend your team came off a tough 12-6 loss down at Princeton. You've had a couple of days to think about it. What do you look at that game now?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a rough 48 hours. Everything that I say is going to come out like an excuse, and there are no excuses. We have to play better. We're going to continue to work to get better. It's just one of those things that we have right now, and it leads back to just a lot of new guys running around out there. I think one of the assistant coaches, and I don't remember, as we had a pretty good discussion after the game when we returned back to Margiata Hall, one of the coaches just said, throw in the other three too, and I really didn't know what he meant by that, but you couple the graduating class with Ford, Loazo, and now, Drew Cahola not playing, the young get younger. And so we got a lot of inexperienced guys out there, and they're going to make some mistakes early. And, we're excited about another opportunity on Tuesday to get out there, because I do feel like we have to get some game experience. As much as we want to play in practice, the comfort level of playing next to your roommate or your teammate is a little bit different than when you're young and you go against another team's jersey.
Now your team was outshot 39-20 on the day. Princeton really seemed to get a lot of long possessions on you. How did they get those possessions, and what kind of impact does that have on your defense after a couple of quarters?
Yeah, well, the stats came back, and we played 21 minutes of offense in a 60-minute game, and so if you're going to split it down the middle, 50-50, we're short 9 right there. Where does that start from? It starts up from the face-off X. When when we don't perform the way we should at the face-off X, then the other team is going to reap the benefits of time of possession. That's something that we've reaped in the past, and we have to get back to that. So obviously John Antonines is not happy with his performance. Zach Paul gave us a nice punch in the arm, and Zach's been doing a great job in practice, and we're certainly thankful for what he did, because he was a key component to a little bit of a run to get it back to 6-5, and then we had a couple of turnovers on the perimeter that we just can't have. And we'll be back to the drawing board today and figure those things out. We're going to watch a little film, and we'll see how we improve for Tuesday.
You mentioned that the game was 6-5 at one point, almost made it 9-7-2 later in the game. What was it that your team just couldn't get back into it?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like we didn't have the ball. When we did have the ball, we didn't do the right things offensively. Defensively, we gave them some looks that I want to be very careful. Princeton's a very good team. Coach Bates did a great job. They got some great players, Schreiber and the new Canadian, and they're throwing the ball in the goal, and Ficaro and Tucker Shanley. Those guys did a great job. And their defense, obviously, you don't even need to talk about, because Fiorito is terrific and their defensemen are wonderful. But the goals that we gave them were very easy, and we have to learn as a young team not to beat ourselves. And Princeton beat us, but as a staff, we feel like we've seen better in practice, and we've seen better at times during scrimmages. And again, it leads me back to my last comment. We need to get our game uniforms on. Maybe we need to practice with them on. I don't really know, but we need to get out there, and we need to have more of those scenarios so that we can improve it. A lot of similarities to my second year here, where we had a couple of seniors back, but we did graduate a bunch. My first year and certainly the second year, and we just improved as the year went on.
Now, Princeton's midfield picked up 6 goals and 8 assists on the day. Is that going to be a case where your defense midfield just needs a couple more games to get that togetherness and start stopping some of those other midfields?
I think so. I mean, it's Steven Romano and Corey Hendrickson out there. Last year they were gearing up to play each other in the Farmingdale-Massapequa matchup, and neither one of them was a D-Midi. So they're learning on the fly right now. AJ Leary's done a good job. We need to communicate. That's the first thing that our staff had discussed, is we need to communicate. And a lot of times teams are quiet when they're not sure, or they have so much on their plate that they can't talk and help other people. And when you lose your voice piece in Michael Scudin and certainly the rope, a lot of guys are quiet because they're just handling what they have to handle now, and we need them to handle that as well as talk and play together as a team. And you can see there were some breakdowns.
Moving to your offense and midfield, first line saw a lot of action, probably the majority of the game. They wound up getting 4 goals and 1 assist for you. What did you see from the first line this week compared to last week?
Yeah, much better. I mean, last week I thought that the second midfield outplayed the first midfield, and you have to be careful. You can't just go the easy answer, or the fans, which is obviously short for fanatics. give someone else a chance. We're at practice every day. We know what we're seeing. We know what's going on. We know who could be out there. Other people will get their opportunities. There's no getting around it. We're not, I want what's best for Hofstra lacrosse. We want to win lacrosse games. And those guys prove it in practice. Come back to them this week. Ian played better. Serling played better. And certainly, Soroketi had one and hit the pipe, to bring it to within one at halftime. We had a little bit of a set play coming out of that timeout right before half. And Ian had a nice assist as well to Lance. So we need to have more from there. We're going to have some new guys get some run on the second midfield for us. It was a game when you're not having a lot of success at the faceoff X, that we could have ran the first midfield a lot more as well, just because they were rested, because they were on the sidelines for a lot of the game.
Now, you mentioned Ian had one assist. That was the only assist for your team on the game. What's the key to maybe getting some more assists and some of those easier goals? Princeton had some catch and shoot easy goals like that.
Yeah, I mean, Princeton, again, they did a good job. They took what we gave them, and we shouldn't have gave them what they took. So again, it's a sentence that it makes sense going both ways. We need to create some more flow. We do. To have Tyler Begley back there as a freshman left-hander, first game against a senior who is just bigger, stronger, faster. He even mentioned that. He goes, Coach, I haven't felt that way in a long time. So that was a huge day for him. He learned. He'll be better Tuesday. We know that. The inside play has got to get better. We have to get those guys to respect Torrenborn and Michael DiNapoli a little bit more. Lance is doing a good job not turning the ball over, taking advantage of situations that come to him, and he's done a good job. We got to get a little bit more from the attack guys. And then our second midfield, we got to create some more flow. And with flow and having the ball more, some of those more assisted goals will come in. And the one part of our game that was really good was man up, because we weren't man up at all.
Now, we mentioned Tuesday's game coming up, a matchup against Fairfield in the latest polls. Now, a top 20 team, number 20. You have them back here, though, at Sherwood Stadium. Tight win last year, 8-7 down at Fairfield. What do you expect from that Fairfield team? Yeah,
they're very well coached. Andy Copeland, Kevin Connery, is a guy that I had a chance to coach during his college years. They're going to be very well coached. They lost a little bit, not as much as us, but they also gained a little bit as well. They got 2 wins. I know they had a hard-fought one against Bryant in overtime, and they put one in the goal. They got a couple of really good players, and they got other guys that are doing a good job for them. They got a very good goalie from Long Island, Charlie Cipriano, and then a couple of powerful offensive guys. They're vanilla on defense, but that's what Kevin Connery, that's what he preaches, that's what he believes in. And so we need to come out. We need to improve at the face-off X. First thing, that starts every goal, it starts every possession, it starts every game. We need to increase our ground ball play. We got to start to dive. We need to start to get some skin bruises from diving for some ground balls. That's the second thing. With that, time of possession will change. And when time of possession changes, then our young guys will be off the field a little bit, and our offense will be on the field a little more. So we got to take care of the ball. No more turnovers on the perimeter. I'm going to say that we're going to go back to having some punishments for possessions on the turnovers on the perimeter. So if any of our guys are watching this, I think that would be a good message that we send right there. And we just need to have the ball.
And how much are you looking forward to returning home to Sherwood Stadium under the lights after a tough road match? Yeah,
it's always great playing home. I mean, the feeling of being in your own locker room, as it is everywhere. But for our guys, I know it's a comfort level, and certainly a midweek home game is even a little bit better, because your schedule, you end up going to school. I don't know if Fairfield's coming down tonight or tomorrow, but a midweek away game is always a little bit more difficult than a weekend away game, where you can leave on Friday and it seems a little bit more normal.
And we don't want to look too far ahead, but coming up also on the weekend, you have to travel up to Cambridge for a matchup against Harvard, another team in the top 20, so really just rounding out a tough week for your team.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the hits just keep on coming, and that's the way we want it. I mean, we're not bowing down to anybody. We need to get better, and in order to get better, we have to play better, and we have to play really good opponents. Our schedule is full of them, so we need to get back. But Harvard is like 4 years away compared to what we got to do for Fairfield at this point in time.
All right, Seth Tierney, head coach of the Hofstra men's lacrosse team. Thanks for joining us inside of the WBC Coach Report here on GoHofstra.com.
Thanks, Tony.